Um, cool. So Ron, Daryl, you know what we're doing here. Ron, welcome. So what we're doing is we just want to hear from you, see what are your sticking points right now? What do you need help with? Where are you in your band process and with your musical career, or is it a hobby or whatever? And how can we help? And then Andy and I have, over 40 years of experience working as pros. So we're just going to download whatever we can that'll help you, take it to the next level or get unstuck anywhere you are. And then our secret evil plan is to find out more about exactly. We have all this great content. We have all this great information that we want to share with you guys and the rest of the world. But we want to understand better how to communicate it, like specifically what you need, what people need, so that we can just go right to the pain points and then happily give all the other information in other ways. But so that's our secret evil plan, is to just get more information so we know how to really better market what it is that we're doing and how we can help more people.
Okay, I'm a hobbyist. I picked it up just by fluke. I had a guitar sitting around for 40 years and I finally picked it up maybe a little over 10 years. It's probably been longer than that. Let's see, I must have been having it hang around for about 50 years. And I've been playing it maybe 10, but that's all relative because I play every day, but I kind of get a YouTube and pick at it and I'll learn a song, but I'm not that proficient in it. And I kind of getting closer to retiring. I'd like to kind of take it to the next level.
Mm-hmm. Okay, right on. So you're a guitarist then?
Yes.
Okay, great. And what style are you playing?
Well, I like the acoustic. I like the old, like Elvis type music. Not the shaken music, but what's the one? Pocket Full of Rainbows and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So, okay. So, well, let's just start with you then, Ron. Okay. So you're just getting, you're playing on a regular basis. Are you interested in playing with other people?
If I could, yeah, definitely. I'd like to. I'm not even sure how to get linked in. I'm not sure if I'm good enough to play with other people, where they'll say, hey, do it in a key or whatever. I'd probably kind of get lost. I'd probably be okay if you go, I'm playing this song, and then I go find out what chords and get the kind of a rhythm and beat and kind of go from there.
Okay, cool. So I've got more questions. Andy, do you have any questions right now?
Yeah. Do you have any guitar heroes? It could be friends, could be professionals, could be somebody on the national stage. Is there anybody that is like, yeah, if I could just sound like that and do what it looks like they're doing?
I'd be happy with like Gordon Lightfoot, probably just enough where chords, a little bit of picking, nothing too complex.
So
I'd like to start singing a little, but I don't have that great of a voice. Yeah.
Well, neither did Bob Dylan. That didn't stop him.
Yeah, I know. That's why I picked like Johnny Cash, Hurt. I can play that one and sing it. So
yeah. Yeah, excellent. Good. I don't know much about the Sacramento scene specifically. But a lot of the things that I imagine, we do here in Austin will probably apply. One of the first things that I would think about doing is see if you can find some coffee shops or the like that have open mic nights. Everyone's run a little bit differently. Generally, it's some sort of version of show up at this time. We'll either randomize the order or we'll call you up, first come, first serve. You get 15 minutes or 3 songs. Could be more, could be less. Some version of that. And that's one of the first things to start doing regularly. One, you'll meet other musicians.
Mhm.
Even if they're just other, you know, singer-songwriters, or just singers, not even writing their own songs, just playing covers, and starting to build a network of just friends, people that share the same interests as you, and you know, you don't even have to go into it with any sort of you know, agenda, scouting out players or a band or anything like that. Just go and make friends, and you know, there's a good enough chance even just doing that, you'll kind of fall into, you know, somebody say, well, hey, I got this gig that's like 3 hours long, but I only have an hour and a half of stuff. Do you want to like just do it together? And then, you know, you're playing with just one other guitar player, right? And you know, kind of build up from there. It'll get you performance experience, being on stage. What does it take to get through a song? It'll put some sort of pressure around practicing things and making sure that it's ready to perform. It helps to, you know, kind of have a little bit of that fire lit under you. So it'll do a whole bunch of things like that to kind of get the performance aspect of it going, and you'll start to understand a little bit more about what it takes gear wise. What does it take? How well do I have to know these songs in order to play them like this, and all that sort of thing. So I think that would be the like the first steps to build up towards and get that sort of thing under your belt.
Okay, even to find a group or a couple individuals that play that we could get together, not necessarily at least some practice before I got exposed.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
those are always kind of cool because it's usually those open mics, even though it's, you know, if you haven't done it before, it's, you know, nerve-wracking and, you know, getting prepared and am I going to be good enough? And then there's always somebody who's not as good as you and always somebody who's better. It's just kind of the way it is. But going through that and meeting people and kind of realizing, okay, I'm better than I thought at these things and I need to work on these things. Um, that's a great way. And you might meet some of those people who are like, yeah, let's get together and let's play some songs. And then you kind of can start jamming that way. Um, I had a couple questions about like your ability to play with other people. Have you done any like what do you know in terms of scales and you know, chords and chord structures and that sort of thing?
I can pretty well play multiples like G on different places on the guitar, kind of up and down the neck a little bit. Bar chords don't bother me. I like to finger pick. I'm not very good with a pick per se. It's all finger picking, which is kind of muted, probably didn't sound good enough if you were playing for somebody in a like coffee shop or something, just to hear, because it's not real sharp. The pick seems to be better.
Do you not necessarily. I mean, there's a lot of, you know, finger picking. Don't put yourself at a disadvantage as a finger picker right off the bat, because finger picking is totally appropriate in a lot of settings, and there are good ways to amplify it to be heard. Do you have a pickup in your guitar?
I don't. I've got one of them I've got to pick up, but I don't really use that dominantly. But
so you'll just want to, you know, if you're doing an open mic or something, they'll have a mic that you can put in front of your sound hole or between the sound hole and your neck to where you can hear it can amplify the picking.
I see them advertising that little one that mounts on the back of the guitar. Is that any good? Or
I don't know. I saw it today too. I was like, oh, that's cool. I want that little gadget. I don't know. It sounded pretty cool in the ad. I don't know how much it costs or whatever, but that that plugs in though. So you would need a guitar that has a plug.
to the
has the ability to plug. So it sounds like one of your guitars has the ability to plug in, and the other one doesn't. It's just a straight.
Yeah. Well, the one it's kind of a Japanese. It's really unusual. It's kind of like does everything that a guitar probably shouldn't have been built that way. So, but it looks good, but it's kind of marginal on the sound unless you got a good amp to go along with. It sounded good when I bought it, but I don't have an amp to plug it into.
Do you have it nearby? Can we look at
it? Yeah, I can go grab that. I'll be right back.
Daryl's rubbing his hands, getting into it. Are you wearing like a glove? Did you hurt your hand?
Last week, it's a compression glove. Last week, I was walking our dogs, and they're both German Shepherd Wolf hybrids. They're large and in charge. They actually
back.
oh, to be continued. Wow,
Oh, look at that thing.
awesome.
Cool.
Okay, so that's got a
Guess
pickup
it was built in the '60s.
Oh, that is wild. I've
Got
never
it in Fredericksburg,
seen-
Virginia.
Wow.
Oh,
Cool.
so that's the one you're not playing as often. But that would be a great
Sound wise,
great one to play. Yeah, play it. Let's hear it.
it's not really tuned right now. I haven't picked it up for probably a year.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to tune it. But
I just for what it's worth, I just put a link in the chat of a YouTube video of Freddie King playing Hideaway. So Freddie King didn't use a pick, and you know,
okay.
at your own leisure, you know, listen to what he sounds like when he's not playing with a pick, and it is not muted or gentle or subdued in any way whatsoever. So, you know, there's a lot that you can do just with your fingers, and you know, there's something to be said for kind of the purity of not having anything between, you know, your fingers and the strings. So yeah, don't let that stop you in any way. You know, I think, you know, when you're looking at like playing with other people, you know, the thing that is probably the most important is just your sense of time. So, you know, if you do any playing along with records, I mean, that's what, you know, everybody was doing in the 20s. Like that was music education. It was the radio, and if you had a record, and the records were great because you could start it over and play it again, right? Prior to that, it's just the radio, right? Whatever the people performing live, and you had to catch it, and you had to learn the song before it was done. Like or you just had to like memorize it on the spot, and you had these savants that could just like do it, right? Or you had a teacher.
Yeah.
And so, but you know, playing along to that, these days you can get a guitar-free and vocal-free version of almost any song reasonably popular on YouTube. My favorite thing to do is just, you know, you could search Johnny Cash Hurt Karaoke, and you will get a version of a band with no vocals. And so then you can play your guitar as though the band on the track is your band. And if you can keep up and keep in time, then, you know, that's a good indicator that you've got what it takes to play with another group. One of the things that I always recommend to test yourself out with that is, you know, it's almost impossible to analyze your playing while you're playing. It's too much for your brain to handle. You'll either mess up because you're too focused on analyzing something that's already happened, or you won't accurately be able to tell whether or not you're playing well enough. So if you've got a computer, play it on the computer speakers and play and sing along, and record it on your phone. And then listen back to it and don't worry about analyzing while you play. Let the phone or the recording, whatever you have, be your memory. Go back and listen to it, and then you'll have your full brain power. All of your attention will be on, okay, how does this sound? Where, oh, I need to work on the chorus because I come out of time a little bit there. And you'll be able to really specifically pinpoint what you need to work on if there's anything you hear that is not satisfactory.
Okay, and that's part of just YouTube karaoke and whatever song you want to learn.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, there's certain, like, if it's too obscure, you know, there may not be a version of it, but you know, if it was ever in the top 10 or top 100, there's probably a karaoke version of it on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which gives you lyrics, everything, I take it. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a great rehearsal tool.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Ron, another thing that might help you is our we do have a how to play in a band video course. It's like a DIY course. Daryl, I heard you downloaded it this week or something.
Yeah, this weekend I started it. I was like, you know what? Let's just go for it. Let's just check this thing out.
Awesome.
See what's really going on.
It's supposed to not be out there right now.
Oh, really?
That's awesome. So we gotta have a conversation about that because I'm really curious how you found it. But Ron, we're gonna relaunch it here in March.
Okay. All right.
That'll be a good, you know, we're building a membership site, so you can come in and there's all kinds of content. We're going to put the how to play in a band course in there. And that'll be a really good, because a lot of some of these things that Andy's mentioning are in that course. And then of course, I'm going to take that little snippet that you just said, Andy, cut it out of this video and add it as additional resource in those chapters for the course as well. So, so that'd be a good way to just kind of keep getting information too. Keep coming to these classes too, these coaching sessions.
Right on.
So can I give you something to work on this week?
I mean, yes, yeah, that'd
okay.
be great.
So I don't want to be too aggressive with my goals for you. So tell me if this is reasonable to get 3 of your songs that you play and go through, find the karaoke tracks, go through, play them, or even the track, just the regular recording, and see if you can start playing through them all the way through, just getting better and more confident so you can start to build that set. So when in the coming weeks, if you find an open mic that you want to play, you're ready, you're prepared.
That's funny. That's kind of what I was trying to do, pick several songs in LA, and those are probably the first two I do. Plus I know I have probably half dozen more that I noodle with. So awesome. Sure, so I can do that. And then do some Googling this week and get a list of the open mics that are in your area. Okay.
And bring them back. Let's talk about them next week.
Okay, I can do that.
Sweet. Cool. Hang out, because you're going to learn more from what we talked about with Daryl too.
Okay.
All right, Daryl, where are you this week? You got the glove.
Well, yeah. So long story short, I was on a walk with the dogs, and a dog came out of the woods, and they proceeded to connect rather aggressively. They pulled me off my feet. I landed with I always cover my center. I 3 black belts and all that. Covered my center, and I landed on a rock garden. And yeah, so I've got this big bruise coming out. I hit this side, but the bruise is coming out this side. This part of my hand swelled up, so anyway, I can finally form a fist. Nothing was broken. I thought day one, I thought it was broken. So anyway, it's getting better, but man, it really pissed me off because I'd had a whole weekend planned of guitar stuff. I just purchased a Les Paul Special in TV yellow because it's an STP thing. Ron, I'm the guitar player for an STP tribute band. And so I found these guys because I needed some help, and they're definitely helping me with some stuff. So last week, James, you wanted me to, I'm looking at my notes, I take notes. You wanted me to plan a realistic schedule for posting content. And so I've been doing that. I've built, our band is going to push our promo, our big 2023 promo push happens on Valentine's Day. So I've been building some ads, a couple of video ads and some other things. I've also been doing a whole lot of research on, email lists and how to use YouTube better and how to use Instagram better and how to use Facebook better. And my nose has just been in the books. And then, I was like, let's add one more thing to my plate, and let's see what this how to be in a band video course is. So I've only done the first lesson though.
How'd you find it? Where'd you find it?
I just went online and found it and signed up and paid for it. And
we'd set it to, because it was like a $499 course that you paid through one portal, and then when you got to the Thinkific, I set it for $1, so that when you had to sign up in Thinkific, I heard you paid $1 for it. Good for you, man.
I was like, oh, that's crazy. Okay, I think there was something else I paid for, but it was like $47, I think, something like that. I'd have to go back and look. Okay. But then I was like, oh, that's clever. I pay for the course and then they charge me per video or whatever. No, I'm kidding.
No, we don't. We don't. That would, yeah, that
So I
would
was
be,
like,
that'd be
aha.
awful, wouldn't it? Oh, yeah, I finally trust these guys.
Yeah, right. But I mean, what I liked about it, just a plug for Ron here. What I liked about it right away was that you started at the ground level, right? It's like, what's your motivation? What's your why? Why do you want to do this? And so I really, I started having to break all that down and sat and wrote some stuff out and
Oh, good.
yeah, so I followed the instructions, followed your instructions, and by the time I was ready for the second session, I was like, "Whoo, man, that was a lot. I'm gonna have to wait till next weekend to let my hand heal." And but yeah, a very busy time. I'm doing all this IT related administrative stuff, getting ready for this big promo push. We got our drummer. We've set up our first rehearsal with all of our material. It's 90 minutes worth of material. And so we're scheduling out a bunch of stuff, and I'm still trying to book dates. Boy, oh boy, that's probably the biggest thorn in my side. Being a new band, I mean, even if we've been out for a year, we're still a new band. We've only played in, I think, 5 or 6 venues, and there's another 40 or 50 that I want to try and start a relationship with. So learning how to approach them via email, and then sending out another one, waiting a couple of weeks and then sending out another one. Hi. And so I got Canva and put together some other promotional materials that I'm going to print. They show up tomorrow, that I'm going to actually walk to some of these venues and introduce myself and say, here's something you can hang on to. So anyway, it's very busy time.
Very cool. I just thought of something like, have you ever worked in a venue, in a bar? Or?
As a matter of fact, I was a talent buyer for about 12 years for a major university. And then on the weekends, I would work in, this was in Lubbock, Texas. You're probably a little familiar with Lubbock, Texas. So I was a talent buyer, one of the talent buyers for the Depot District, specifically the warehouse. So I was doing, some bigger bands as well as some local bands. So I'm familiar with the process, but it's all pre-computer, right? I mean, computers were, still a brand new thing. So everything is now, the whole approach to marketing and selling yourselves is so much different than the way it was before.
Well, that in-person piece really does make a difference. I was just, the reason I asked is because there's timing. If you're going to go by in person, there's timing. Traditionally, it's very rare to find the booker at the club, unless they've booked a really cool show that they're coming to watch. So you're, generally going to bump into the bartender, or maybe there's a manager on staff that can help you out with that. So sometimes the owners are the bookers, or the managers are the bookers.
Right.
But yeah, just timing that. So you're going to find them when they're there, but not at a super busy peak time where they're actually going to take time to talk to you, which obviously, so yeah.
It's one of the frustrations is not getting return emails, but I think I've been doing this. This is my 3rd or 4th week to try and connect with 40 or 50 venues. And they're kind of slowly trickling in. But what I'm running into now is that, hey, we're all, catch us in the spring. We're all booked up now, which, I figured that was a possibility. And we're not going to go out until the end of March, April anyway.
Yes.
So I'm okay with that as long as they'll follow through.
Yeah. So Andy, what would you suggest? Because you're booking more currently. I'm not booking my band at all. I'm not booking shows at all at the moment. So what's going on out there right now? Like, what's your runway when you're booking shows?
Well, we got it made, man. Because most of the stuff that we do in town comes to us. We don't have to go look for anything anymore. And you know, we've got all the venues that we would ever want to play in Austin, for now at least. We play and they love us there, and we've got good personal relationships with everybody. The closest thing that I do that is gonna be similar to what you're doing, Daryl, is when I book a tour. And so, you know, this was the last like tour that I booked. It was pre-pandemic, the summer before the pandemic. We went up to New York and back for about 2.5 weeks. And my booking email, so I started, well, it wasn't for summer, it was fall. It was for early October. I started sending out emails in May. And what I would do is I would go to, I had a whole spreadsheet with locations. That's not applicable for you, but you know, I would hit up nearby cities, and I would look at the venues that had music similar to enough to ours. I would look at the calendars that existed, and I would see, okay, how are they billing their bands? Is it one band playing for 3 hours, or are there like 5 bands a night for 45-minute sets? So I'd look at that and sort of get a sense of their style and for how they liked to promote their shows, how far out they were booking. I would look at their calendars for October. I would see if they had an available date. And if there was not a date listed on their calendar as there being a show already, then my email would look something like, hey, I'm in a band from Austin, Texas. We play soul music. You can listen to us here. Whether it was true or not, a friend of the band suggested that we reach out because they like your venue. Right. And it would also help that, you know, we've got a lot of friends that tour, and we could usually go back far enough and find, oh yeah, okay, they played like 3 years ago. And then, you know, we could kind of use that as our thing if it ever came up. And that kind of, you know, that's like the whole personal touch thing or whatever. And then, you know, the next thing would be, I see that, on your calendar online, it looks like you don't have this date booked yet. We're coming through on that date on tour. If it's available, we would love to take this spot. And then I would give them the rest of the info about the band. So, you know, they didn't have to sort through a bunch of stuff, a bunch of links and things. They could see it was really obvious. Here's a link to listen, and this is what we're asking for. And then below that, press and, you know, accolades and blah, 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 and all that other stuff. If they wanted to keep reading through it, they could. I didn't attach any images. It's a great way to get spam filtered. As few links as possible. So it was a link to listen to our music on. There was like a what do we use? I think I started just linking Spotify, but you know, I've used SoundCloud links. Something that they don't need an account for. They can just click it and it opens up right away, and there it is, and they can just listen. And then there was also a link to our website, and I would say you can find all of the information by clicking this link. So there's only 2 things to click. There's enough to read, really easy to see, formatted well so they could read it at a glance and see what's going on. And that sort of thing, you know, in the modern day, it worked really well. We only had one off day, and that was kind of by choice because we had to drive from Nashville all the way to Baltimore for a leg. And it was like, we're just going to make that a day, not going to play a show that night. And then on the way back, we had a smoother route where it was, you know, I think max we only had like a 6-hour drive on any given day. Mostly it was kind of kept it between a couple hours, 2 and 4 hours. So that format, right? The approaching them first, saying, here's who we are, this is what we sound like, this is the date we want, and I've done enough research to know that you have this date available, right? So sometimes they would say, well, actually it's booked, we just haven't announced it yet, sorry, reach out to us again next time, right? That's it, I guess, if they liked our music. I also got a whole lot of people just never responded. So in each city, I probably reached out to 24 venues. And, you know, maybe got it 2 or 3 responses. And, you know, that was enough, and I didn't have to worry about following up. And again, pre-pandemic, so grains of salt, it's I think a little bit different now. But I think that's an important bit, right? You get really easily into, this is who we are, this is what we do, and this is what we want from you. And then, you know, by showing that you've done, you know, that research, you can see how their shows work. You know, later on in the email, if I noticed that they liked to pair touring acts with local acts, I would mention that, be like, you know, and I may even go so far as to say, hey, I noticed you've got this person that's played there as an opening act before. I think they would go really well with us if they're available and you want to book them as our opener. Like, you, the more that you can do for them and make it as easy as possible for them, the more likely you're going to get a response. So that, you know, if they look at your email and they can just say, yeah, you got it. And if that's all they need to do, like, that makes the, I'm sure as you can imagine, like, that would be a dream if a band came in to you as the talent buyer and be like, hey, I've got 3 bands. I got a bill already booked. This is the date we want. I see it's available. Can we have it? And you were like, sweet, take it off my plate. It's yours. And then you don't have to do anything else, right? So the more you can do at that level, you make it as easy as possible for these people to say yes to you. And so, you know, what are like the top 5 venues that you're looking at right now to play?
Well, I did put together a spreadsheet with the venues, the contact information. If I had the person's name, I'd write that down. Also, the date I sent something out with any kind of another column with a response, and then a second date, you know, sent this out and a response, and then a third date and sent, you know, if there's a response. So I do like to do my homework. I do like to I do like to do the research. Also, what I've been doing is cross-referencing bands that are, you know, tribute bands that are similar to what we do, with where they're playing and when, and seeing if there are dates that are not in close proximity to their date, so that we're not saturating the market for, you know, 90s tribute bands. You know, if there's an Alice in Chains tribute band playing one weekend, I don't want to play the next weekend. You know, so anyway, I've been doing all that stuff. But as far as my top 5, I'd have to pull up my list, but I definitely have it. Oh, you know what? I wrote them down.
There you go.
So the ones so they're not necessarily my top 5, but they're the top ones that I think we can get into quite easily. And actually 2 of them I already have dates for. So what I'd really like to do is get our band into Shooters 620 and also Shooters Cedar Park. Although that's a little different because Shooters in Cedar Park, there's no production, right? There's no sound, no lights. We'd have to bring all that in. So, but at least at Shooters 620, they have sound, they have lights, and I've made a connection with them, and they're just waiting for this weekend is their very first 90s tribute night. So I think they're waiting to see how that goes. And then they're wanting to come back and talk to us about a date maybe later in April or May, right? But also there's a club nearby called Lucky Rabbit that is brand new. It's a beautiful venue. It's got a great stage, and they're an 8-minute drive from where my brother and I live. So we're focusing a little bit of attention on them. And then there's another place in Georgetown called Barrels and Amps that we'd really like to get into. There are plenty of places in South Austin that we would love to get into. San Antonio would be a great market to break into because apparently their tribute scene is really, really good. I've spoken with some folks based in San Antonio. They are unwilling to pay. One venue asked, "Hey, okay, what's your compensation look like? What do you want?" And I was like, "We're going to bring in 2 bands, play 90 minutes apiece, and we want 500 band." And they came back with a counter offer saying, "We'll pay both bands $500, and you have to pay our sound engineer to run sound, and that's $50 a band." So, so there's some negotiating that's still going on with that.
Yeah. I mean, you know, from the, you know, again, you can appreciate the other end of that. you know, that process, I'm sure that they are inundated with people who are wanting to play.
Yeah.
They can probably get away with paying that, and you're an unknown to boot. They
Right.
have no idea how much you
Right.
can bring or not, right? So there is an element of, you know, while you're building your reputation, you know, I'm not saying you should take all the gigs, but the more you take, the more you'll start to garner a good reputation in one way or another.
Absolutely.
And yeah, San Antonio is tough in that way, especially if you're coming from Lago Vista. It's what, a 2.5 hour drive?
It's an hour. It's an hour down to downtown Austin, and then it's
Right.
an hour 20 from there to
Mhm.
San Antonio. So yeah, 2.5 hours.
Yeah, so yeah, I've heard good things about Lucky Rabbit. I think some of my friends have played out there recently. The name is ringing a bell.
Yeah.
So that's probably a good idea. It's just like kind of, you know, work the local thing a little bit and get a little bit of a good reputation. Plus, if you can, you know, set up a camera next gig you get, wherever it is, you know, don't include any shots of the crowd in case there's nobody there. But you
Right.
know, then you can include that in any sort of promo, or just even if it's a still from that. And then, you know, something about, you know, them seeing you on a different stage. It's like, oh, well, somebody else let them in their venue. How bad could they be? And
Right.
you'll get some more looks that way. That'll be good.
Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
also great advice. Thank you for that. I'm also speaking with a social media manager about helping me with the technology. There's just so much to know and so many
Yeah.
nuances, and but the one thing we have encountered is, people who are talent buyers are, going to the website, going to Instagram and Facebook and going, oh, well, they've got almost 600 followers on Facebook, but 90 followers on Instagram. Not
Yeah.
sure about them, right? So
I have a question. Have you gotten that feedback specifically?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, not specifically from venues or talent buyers, but people that I've spoken with that have booked their bands, and people who are knowledgeable about booking and marketing and in this environment nowadays.
Mhm.
And the reliance of venues wanting to look at your social media. So
I would take that with a grain of salt.
okay.
You know, yeah, because you said it, you haven't gotten this feedback from the talent buyers themselves. And musicians generally, they've got no idea what's going on in the mind of a talent buyer. You know, as much as it's all superstition. It's like, well, I showered twice that day. That's probably what did it. It's like, it's the same energy as that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think it's probably good to, you know, focus on the platforms and learn how to use them as a tool to get more attention on you. And I think that's all good. I would, and when it comes to, I guess, like proving your worth to a talent buyer, the more important thing, and this is something that, you know, that I would include at times, especially playing in a new city when I'm booking the tours, like we've not played your city, but we have a radio promoter that's promoting the latest album, and we have this many plays, and we're at this level on the local college radio. And, you know, whatever that's worth to you, you know, that kind of helps them gauge, are there going to be people who know and are going to come out, right? So if you can find a way to provide that information to a talent buyer, right? So, you know, hey, we brought out 100 people to Lucky Rabbit in Jonestown, right? That's going to be big for the venues you're reaching out to in Round Rock, Cedar Park, and Georgetown. It's not going to mean so much to the South Austin people, right? And so, you know, there's a level of investment that you might try and go for, play a free show in South Austin so that you can then hit up Far Out Lounge that does a bunch of tribute stuff. And then you can say, hey, we did this event in South Austin. This many people came. I feel good about doing this. I see you have this date on your calendar that's available, and I have 2 other bands that are 90s themed. Can we do a night at Far Out Lounge?
Yeah.
And then with one yes, That I wonder if it may or may not still be Lawrence that's booking it, but whoever is, you know, they'd be like, yeah, that sounds great. Let's put it together. And then that night is done for them. They don't have to think about that anymore. And those tribute nights, those themed nights they're easy marketing for talent buyers, right?
Right.
So, you know, I would, yeah, when it comes to that, the size of your email list and your engagement on social media, you know, my band's it's a modest following. I mean, we've got I don't know, less than 4,000 I think followers on Instagram, which is, again, it's a big number. There are lots of people that have many more followers than we do. Like, we're not super killing it at the social media thing, right? But then when you look at our posts, despite that 4,000 number, all of our posts get right around, I don't know, 180 to like 250, sometimes 300 engagements. That's likes or comments or shares of some kind, right? So that to us, like, that's the real metric. The 4,000 number means nothing, right? So if you've got 65 followers and you're getting 64 likes, that's almost halfway to where we are,
Right.
with 4,000 followers, right?
Yeah.
So the engagement is a more useful metric than the number of followers.
Agreed. Agreed.
So, you know, focusing in on that and not so much on that final number. And I don't think that if you're brand new and all you have is your follower count, then yeah, that's what they're going to look at. But again, if you can give them other metrics to look at, we brought out this many people on this date in this situation on this night of the week, blah, 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 whatever it is, they're going to look at that, and because that's going to be more meaningful than the number of followers you have.
Yeah. What can you do for me in my venue with a max capacity of 220 people? Well, we brought in 125 people this last week here. So
Precisely.
yeah, I totally get it. Real quick question. Was there one individual in the band or outside of the band that nurtures the social media?
Yeah, it's me and one other member of the band.
Okay. All right.
And it's like, you know, like, again, I would love to give you like more specifically like what to do. The thing is this, and I didn't mention this to you, James, where I kind of feel a little bit like a fraud being the one that knows more, because all of the things that have happened to us have been complete accidents. Just not planned. There was no finagling of anything. There was no strategy. It was just like stumbling ass backwards into it. We played Seaboys the first time because Paul, our drummer, he was good friends with Pete, who is the general manager of the Houston Continental Club. There was this, and we were playing there with a singer that we just put together a weekend of just dates for fun. We're playing the Sahara Lounge in Austin, over on the east side, to like 12 people. And then we played San Antonio to a friend of ours. He's actually got a club down in San Antonio that's got a built-in crowd called Luna. It's a bunch of R&B and soul and whatnot. Kind of like a Chitlin Circuit kind of vibe. Built-in crowd. So that was a great show. And then Houston Continental was supposed to be the Saturday. And Steve Wertheimer, the owner of the Continental Club brand, mostly doesn't interfere with what's going on in Houston, but there was this accordion player coming from Louisiana. And he wanted that accordion player to play the Houston Continental and the Austin Continental. That happened to be the weekend that we wanted to play the Houston. So Steve was like, I want this person to play there because we're kind of helping them connect some legs of a tour. Can I give you an Austin Continental date to make up for it? And we're like, fuck yes. Because that was amazing. We'd love to play there. And then like a week later, he thought better of it. Was like, actually, why don't we play Seaboys instead? And we played Friday night after Kathy Valentine. That was our first gig. Steve doesn't always show up to the Seaboys shows. Sometimes he does, but not always. He happened to show up to ours, and he happened to like it, and he didn't remember that this whole accordion player thing had happened. And he was like, "This is great. You guys sound amazing. I love your sound. How did you get on this stage?" We're like, "Well," we reminded him, and he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I kind of vaguely remember that. Well, do you want to play New Year's at the Continental?" Abso-fucking-lutely. Right? That's, you know what I mean? And then we're playing New Year's at the Continental, and then, you know, the rest is history. So it's like, and we've been doing New Year's at the Continental ever since. And there was no strategy there. We didn't pick that date in Houston because we saw that it might be taken by some obscure Zydeco accordion player coming from Louisiana so that we could trade for a date. And you know what I mean? Like, there's no strategy there. There's just falling into it and taking advantage of the situation. And so, you know, the best advice I can give then is you got to put yourself in those situations, however you can.
Yeah, that's the strategy. And you know, you probably did the math, but he was talking about when the tour, he was talking about 6 months out, right? So while you guys were talking, I just went on and looked at those clubs and a few other clubs in Austin that I like, and none of them have anything past March on their calendar. You know, most of them are early March, they're barely past February.
Yeah.
So it's tough to go to those venues and go, hey, I see you've got an availability, you know, 6 months from now, da 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 da. But if you keep that runway in your mind, like I'm booking right now in February for August.
Yep.
Right. Anything you get before that is like, oh, sweet, we got something great. Okay, now we're building momentum. And I like what Andy's saying about just, you know, just take the gigs for a while. Just take the gigs. Even if you got to travel, just get enough to cover your expenses, go have some fun. They'll give you free drinks at the bar and build an audience. I mean, it's more fun than going out to dinner and spending $150.
Yeah, that's very true.
You know, depending, I haven't looked up the venues you mentioned, you know, and sometimes a booker will, depending on their style, some of them don't like to look out more than 3 or 4 months. So if you're asking for 6 months, they're like, send me another email in a couple of months when I'm actually looking at that, right? And some of them, like your Antoneses of the world, you can book a show a year out and it'll be organized and it'll be great. But then, you know, your Sahara Lounge, it's like, we don't know what's happening next month yet. Like, you know, so I mean, so you got to get them in the zone in which they're looking at the dates that they haven't booked yet. And that's going to change a little bit.
I wasn't suggesting that you start throwing them dates 6 months down the road. Just keep that in your mind. You know what I mean? You're going for, you know, March and April aren't on the calendar yet for these venues. So, hey, here's our availability for March, April.
Right.
If you need May and June, we can give you those too, or whatever, however you do it, you know. But yeah, that way, but your mindset is cool. I got something, you know, a month out.
Yeah. Yeah. For the ones that have reached back out, even just to say no, I've always followed up. Thank you. We will keep you posted on our, you know, our schedule and what we've got coming up so that at some point we can connect and have your business.
Yeah.
So much to learn.
We've also gotten a lot of gigs from, you know, just going out and seeing other people. And that's part of, you know, I think last time I was on here, we talked a little bit about that and about, you know, being a part of the scene or creating a scene out of nowhere. And, you know, sometimes if you befriend whoever is in one of these bands that you want to play a show with eventually, and they're booking something somewhere else and a band falls through and you're top of their mind, well, why don't we give them a shot and see if they can do it? And that's how you put yourself in a position to get something awesome happen by accident.
Yeah, great. And I did mention that in our emails. I've kept them very brief, very short, but also I've mentioned if you go to our site, you like what you hear and see, if you have any cancellations or, you know, something else comes up and you need a band, we'd love to play. So
that's great. Hey, on that note of building the scene, we talked last week about you kind of being more open to going back and repairing that bridge with that band. Did you take any action on that? Yeah.
Not yet. Well, yes, actually. I have started paying attention to their presence online and liking posts and making little comments. Oh, great. You guys looked great. You know, what a killer stage, you know, stuff like that. So just reeling them back in a little slowly, right? And then if we do have a sweet date that lines up and you know, there's maybe a good guarantee or something, and we don't have another act, I'm gonna make the invitation.
That's cool. Can I make a suggestion there?
Absolutely.
I might consider, just, you know, now that you're starting to make contact with them, maybe even just reaching out and saying, hey, yeah, if you got a couple of minutes to talk, I wanted to apologize about the last thing or whatever. So they know, okay, cool. And then they're thinking about you're on their mind. They're like, oh, they might have a show.
Right.
They want to put you on, you know? So
Yeah, and I've made some inroads with one of the two of those bands doing that as well. So yeah.
Nice.
yeah, that's nice. That's gonna help a lot. Just small world.
Indeed. Yeah. Smaller than I realized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Uh,
Cool.
okay, guys, this was great. So Daryl, yeah, it sounds like you just keep on plugging on what you're plugging at. It'll break. I will say that, you know, Andy's being very humble, and I get it. You know, it seems like happenstance, but the truth is the strategy is just consistently and tenaciously being out there, just putting it out there, you know, putting it out there. You know, that's the breaks come because of that. I strongly believe that the universe responds to my actions, and it's very rarely direct.
Right. I think that's my point, is that there's no master plan engineering of the way that we've gotten any of the cool things that we've gotten. It's been, I mean, I could pull up dozens of emails where somebody has said, hey, we just happened to see your show. We're in Austin. This is, so that tour, that 2-week tour to New York that I booked, that was because we got paid $20,000 to play a wedding in Maine. So really, I guess it was to like Maine and back, right? New York was like our last public show, but that's because they were just visiting Austin that day. They were there for one night. They came out to our show. Oh, we're getting married in 6 months. Let's get them. And then there was like, what would it take? And we were like, we just kind of jokingly threw that number out there. And like 30 seconds later, they were like, yes, which to us was like, oh, fuck, we should ask for like twice that. Clearly, these people were stupid rich. I mean, the wedding was at a yacht club. Right. So, yeah, but it's just like, again, it's so much of that. Just, hey, we happen to be here one night only, and it was a great show, and we want to give you this other cool opportunity.
How long ago was that?
5 years.
Okay. So maybe when some of their friends are going to tie the knot, you're going to get a recommendation.
Potentially, but I mean, even as early as this last year, we played Bonnaroo because the lady who books Bonnaroo happened to come to one of our shows in Austin, and was like, "Hey, I've got this opening at Bonnaroo that I didn't have planned. Do you guys want to do it?" It's like, yes.
Awesome.
So, you know,
The
yeah.
universe.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So there's no engineering it. There's just putting yourself in a position to take advantage of any opportunities that do come up.
Right on. Cool.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for showing up tonight. I'm going to do another quick session on Sunday at 1 o'clock. If anybody needs any help or support, we'll be back here next Wednesday, same time.
Well, thanks for having me, and I look forward to it next Wednesday.
Nice.
In fact, I've been doing my homework already. I've been on Google. There is stuff here in Sacramento.
Excellent. Glad to hear it.
Awesome. Hey, Daryl, hang out for a second because I want to find out how you found that court. You don't know? You just like Googled how to play in a band or something?
I'm gonna go ahead and scoot. I'll see you guys.
Okay. Hey, Andy. Thank you. Ron, nice to meet you.
See you, Ron.
Nice meeting you. Bye.
You know, I don't remember. I just remember it was late at night. It was like 11:30. I was watching TV and I was like, hey, you know, I was running through all of my notes on all this different stuff. And maybe let me see if I've got that written down somewhere. Let's see here. I take a lot of notes.
Cool.
Um,
Look at, oh, here it is. How to play in a band order form on Band-Aid School of Music. On it right there. Oh, look at that.
did you find it?
Yeah, $49. That's the one you bought, huh?
Yeah, yeah, I was thinking it was like
Okay.
47 or 49 or something, and
That's awesome. Yeah, that is funny. That is not supposed to be
did
out
I inadvertently
Dude, I'm just gonna
commando
celebrate.
my way in?
You're the first guy to buy the course. And yeah, you're the first guy to buy the course. So we're just gonna celebrate that, man.
I'm
Celebrate.
I'm a
You
gonna.
got a bargain. Yeah, you got a bargain. So that's awesome. But good for you. First one in, man.
Well, I love the course. I don't get to check it out as much as I want to. Like, it's like I don't like doing one section and then having to wait a week and do another section and having to wait a week. You know, I like to fly through this stuff, but there's also a beauty in slowing down enough to actually legitimately both feet on the ground, write stuff out, you know, follow the instructions and not try and just beat the timeline, right?
That's kind of the way we designed it because we wanted it to just sort of you to be able to integrate it in, right? You're taking this stuff in, you're thinking about it for a week, you know, and then you're coming back and you're doing the next phase.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's designed.
So yeah, I think it's great stuff, and I look forward to seeing more people get involved in it because I think it's important. If you love what you do and you want to get better at what you do in a local environment, I mean, I can't think of a better, you know, I went to what is that rock band school here in town, you know, like years ago. School of Rock. Yeah. You know, and you know, I tried it for like a month and it's just like, oh man, no.
They had an adult program, huh?
Yeah, they have an adult program and it was, you know, it was very well run, you know, no complaints there, but it just was not netting me the results. I didn't, you know, this is like a deep dive into the nuts and bolts underneath, you know, playing, you know, that was all about getting on stage and playing, but there's more nuance to it and more, you know, it's opening the hood of the car instead of just getting in and learning how to drive the car.
Exactly. That's a cool way to put it. That's a cool
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. And that's what I wanted, you know, years ago, you know, so I you know, I'm glad I got in for the price I did. Which just means I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna stick around and see what else I can spend my money on with you.
Oh, did you know that I'm part of the inspiration for the movie School of Rock, which is why that school exists?
Really? Oh, well, I hope I didn't say anything insulting.
No. I don't have anything to do with that school. They're one of my competitors, but that's why. Yeah, Linkletter, the filmmaker, lives in Austin. And
Okay.
before he wrote that, he came to watch what I was doing with kids, putting them up on stage at Antone's and other clubs, and that was.
I think I read that in your bio somewhere,
Yeah.
but I was much more impressed with the you know, voting for the Grammys and all that. I don't know how deeply involved you are in it currently, but you know, the Grammys just happened. And so I was like, wow, oh wow, yeah, James is the guy to ask questions. I mean, he really, you know, if he's that deeply involved, you know, there's some good mentoring available.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you see that. That's awesome. Well, cool, man. Glad to see you again, and yeah, we'll see you definitely next week.
Yeah, definitely. We'll sign up for next week. And I got a text saying 90 more days, and then let me just find the text. I guess you guys like send it out automatically. You've got
to. Oh yeah, Kayla's sending those out.
Yeah.
90 like
yeah,
we're doing this for 90 days.
Yeah, our free group goes away in 90 days. Join the group while you still can. Tonight's session. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, cool. Good, good, good. Yeah, we're using the simple texting. I think people respond a lot better to that.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. I've actually been talking to a company that just does texting. They get someone's email address. And they send out notifications of where you're playing and all that sort of thing. So,
cool.
I'm,
Bands in town.
yeah,
You signed up for bands in town?
signed up for what?
Bands in town?
That sounds very familiar. I think I have, but it's been a while since I've checked it.
People sign up for that. Like I've bands in town and I select the bands that I'm following and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime they have a new show announced, I get an email.
I'm gonna write that down to go back and look. Because that sounds very familiar, and I think we signed up for it, but nobody checks to see when we're playing.
Not yet. Not
Not
yet.
yet, not yet. But yeah, I think a little more time on the mat, if you will, with the social media stuff, and we'll be rocking and rolling.
Cool. Yeah, I want to get that batch strategy, right? So you get that whole chunk of posts and time and just, and then you can automate that.
Yep.
Then
Yep.
again, that'll just get you more, people start paying attention and
Right. Yeah, sounds great. Sounds great, man.
All right, knock them dead. Heal up that hand.
Yeah, right. Thanks.
All right.
Take care.